Thank you for a warm welcome. I always said that having some gender diversity, let's say, diversifies the conference. So let me talk. I'm Anastassia from Eesti Loto. I manage all products, systems, and projects which are somehow related to data gathering, processing, reporting, data warehouse, and BI included. So today, how we have split it. I will make the quick introduction and explain the context of why we actually reached even the situation where we had to change our ETL solution, and Veiko will continue to explain how it went. So, but first, Eesti Loto. For those of you who don't know, it's Estonian national lottery. Operating from the early 70s, so it's quite old organization. It's 100% state-owned, meaning that actually all revenues, not only taxes, go to the state back, and we are quite big funders of culture, education, and sports in Estonia. And as this is a data week in Tallinn, I've decided to bring some numbers. So we have an average 200,000 players per month. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but that's the number on average. And for our measured history, it's in fact more than 700,000 of Estonian residents who have played lottery, so it makes more than 70 or 60% of all Estonian residents who actually can play lottery, actually even more if you remove all those youngsters. So yeah, so we have some data, as you can guess. And at certain points, for quite long, we only had one main system, which ran just a number of plain reports. It worked for a while, but we definitely needed to have some change. So we decided to bring visual reporting and data warehouse into the game. Our journey started in 2019, when we have started to make a market research of what could be our solutions. For data warehouse, the choice was between Vertica, Snowflake, and Postgres that time. And from visual analytics, it was Tableau, Power BI, and ClickSense. Snowflake and Tableau won the battle after different evaluations. And in 2020, we went to a proof of concept. Actually, I've had some reflection from the Andres II speech, because it was not only the proof of concept for the data warehouse itself for us, it was also the proof of concept for the cloud technology in general. So as a state company, it's not very common for state organizations to use cloud, and it's even less popular in lottery business. So we've decided to bring. Well, I would not say that in 2020 it's innovation when you go into cloud, but yeah, knowing the business, yeah, it seemed like that. And now we are going, let's say, the long-term strategy is going fully to cloud. So I guess in that way, let's say, at least in our industry, we would be sort of innovators. So proof of concept in 2020 worked. I got my budget. I got my procurement documents set, and from the 2021, we have started working with Wizon on actually building the system like properly. And as it was a proper start, when we just dropped the data model we made for POC and built everything from scratch, it can be a different story. But yeah, we decided not to inherit bad decisions from the earlier systems. And when it was just like adding the systems, adding modules, information, sources. And we came to the situation where we actually decided that something in our structure or architecture should be changed. Two pictures, actually. The next one, the first one is how our system looked right after the POC, so just like a few Excels, one database. Pentaho, processing all of that, data warehouse, Snowflake, storing that, and Tableau as a visual tool. And then this is how it looked 4 years later. So a few more numbers, several core systems, Kafka streams, several APIs, and S3 buckets living independently in AWS, just because it was senseless to move that from with Pentaho, which was on-prem server. This worked, but it was already pretty slow. There was like one developer who knew what happens if nothing happens. So if everything stands, we had to look for the right guy, and if he was busy on different projects, we're still working with externals and or at vacation. This happens also, so we just had to wait or to look urgently for somebody who could even understand what has happened. And the last year, we've made a decision that we have to improve overall. So Veiko will continue from here, actually. But yeah, for me, as a product manager or in data, the most painful things was that we have no visibility with that solution. So I said only one guy could understand what happens if something happens or if nothing happens. And quite some pain then. I think people who work with data may relate that if your business people know that you have a problem in data before you, that's painful. So we had to think of a solution which would work the best and which would provide us the better tools to provide a better service for the data.
Yeah, hi, I'm Veiko. I got involved with Eesti Loto just after the proof of concepts project, and been analyzing it ever since. So during those 4 years, data volumes and complexity increased multiple times, and it resulted in challenges in scalability and maintainability. It reflected in data ingestion and transformation duration, basically, as well as difficulties in adding new sources, adding new functionality, both in time and also in how easy it is to maintain dependencies. So also it was difficult to do debugging, sorting through all of those multiple log files and not coming to any conclusion in the end. Also, it was difficult to backfill when the data had gaps. In terms of version control and CI/CD, as some of you know, Pentaho holds its transformation information in XML files, and when you move something around in the Pentaho canvas, then all sorts of things start to happen, and it's really hard to read and merge it afterwards. And also, Pentaho doesn't really have a good CI/CD, built-in CI/CD support. In terms of testability, I think Nastya already mentioned that when we discovered problems, it was often because business told us so. They got the idea of it from everyday reports, as opposed to having automated testing that would tell us that. And finally, in terms of transparency, there is really no good built-in monitoring solution in Pentaho. And it's difficult to trace the logic from SQL to your Pentaho jobs. So overall, we made a decision to move forward from Pentaho and look for a open source, self-hostable, and easy to learn solution for orchestration, data ingestion, and also dimensional model transformations with the focus on tools where we have existing knowledge base. So this is an example of the business layer in Pentaho. All of the dependencies between artifacts. This is pretty much what it looked like. What comes first, what comes second, and what if you need to add a model to that? So it really had become unmanageable. Regarding the new architecture, it used to work on cron tabs, Pentaho jobs, and separate Python scripts were run by cron tabs. And for the orchestration to be solution, we picked from Airflow, Kestra, and Daxter. The first thing was that we wanted it to be open source, but even though Kestra and Daxter are advertised as open source, they are actually open core, meaning that some of the functionality is hidden behind the paywall. For one example is single sign-on. So this is where Airflow stands out. We wanted a mature and mature solution with wide community support. This is also something that Airflow is, I think, very good at. Regarding testing and CI/CD, Daxter is a little bit better than the rest, but they don't fall behind a lot. We also were considering using a managed service, as Eesti Loto lives in AWS. We wanted a AWS managed service, but this is something that only Airflow has. We also needed it to be compatible with our chosen sync tool or sync solution, which I'll talk a little bit later. It's in Python, and both Airflow and Daxter are written in Python, while Kestra is written in Java. So Airflow and Daxter won that one. And we wanted a thing where we had existing know-how. Usually our go-to solutions are Airflow and Kestra, but we did research Daxter a little bit, and it shows promising sides, I think, in terms of being data-driven and very developer-friendly. But overall, Airflow was the thing that we chose. Going on to data ingestion, this was, in the legacy solution, it was implemented as Pentaho transformations to sync data from databases and files, while from APIs we loaded using custom Python scripts. We considered Airbyte, as it is our usually one of our go-to solutions. But we discovered during the research phase that it didn't work well in terms of performance for large amounts of data volumes with Oracle. So as we also knew that we needed to do a lot of custom scripting in terms of because we had this custom incremental load scenario and also custom API solution that we needed. So we started to look for alternatives as well. We looked for, or we looked at custom ETL, Python ETL libraries, ready-made Python ETL libraries. I think it was data load tool. And it looked promising, but we quickly realized that in terms of flexibility and also light resource demand, it would make more sense to develop it ourselves from scratch. And this is what we decided to do in the end. Going on to transformations, they were implemented as dimensional handwritten SQL queries embedded in the Pentaho jobs. For this, we chose dbt as a tool moving to be the industry standard, or already is I think, the industry standard. It's got a wide spread usage and a huge community, automatic testing, automated documentation, built-in dependency management, etc., etc. As we knew what Eesti Loto, what were its requirements, and comparing it with our experience with dbt, we decided that we had little to no doubt that this was a good choice. The new architecture basically consists of Oracle databases holding core system data, Amazon S3 buckets holding instant lottery network data, accounting data from standard books, some XLS files, and e-game transactions from Kafka. So all of this data is fed into Snowflake internal stages using Airflow, and there it moves to the ODS schema, to which is used then by models for transformations, and it's all published in the business layer. The migration process started in October and November. We did analysis. In December, we got agreement to do this development. We continued until the end of January. In February and March, we had a state procurement.
Because we ran out of money. That's a problem when you're starting a state company. You have those procurement agreements for development, like we buy resources and.
Exactly. Luckily, we won that contract. We were able to continue development and testing in April. In May, we went live, and then the stabilization period started. Development, we started with this custom Python scripting. We store results to the secondary database for making it possible to compare it with live data. We installed the Airflow, did the transformations. It was rather easy to migrate it, as those transformations were also already embedded in Pentaho jobs. And lastly, we did the CI/CD implementation. For testing, we started with stale data testing. When we ironed all the main bugs out, we had legacy and new data flows run in parallel for 2 weeks. We focused on the incremental load testing then, and did the data validation testing both towards source data and dimensional data. We did regression testing because we had to do a lot of refactoring, so easy to break something. Of course, we tested performance, monitored loading, and finally, together with the business, we did the testing of reports. After all, everything was fixed. We went live in May, and most of the documentation was done automatically by dbt, but also the data sync tool was heavily documented. And the knowledge transfer, we introduced the logic, the development process, etc. We do have a plan for decommissioning legacy Pentaho. until today, I think the last job was still running, but yeah, we were able to stop it. We'll have confirmation next week, I think. The results have been very good in terms of development speed, how easy it is now to find bugs. It's a lot more maintainable. We don't have this drag and drop created spaghetti code anymore. We have automated testing, automated documentation. We can have concurrent loadings both through Airflow and dbt. We use modern engineering practices. It's a lot visible and observable. And we have something called, let me check how I wrote it. Oh, sorry.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, composable ecosystem, which means basically we can remove and plug new components without changing the platform. What we learned, two of the last things everybody has already talked about, plan for the future while building for the present and trust what you know. But I would also like to stress the second point, that migrations are rarely only for tool replacement. You should really consider as early as possible them as data product modernization projects. Very good that our partner Eesti Loto supported that idea from the start. Yeah, next we will transfer the test environment to the new solution. We don't have a server for that yet, and continue with ongoing improvements. But that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess we have also questions, but since we are running in tight schedule, Rainer, maybe you can start with the questions that have at least one like.
Yeah, yeah. There's no like there, but when the new logo will be out?
It's a good question, yeah. Well, I have seen that, so it's ready. But yeah, if you mean that the one on a building, I think it's a few more months at least.
Okay. So we have two likes. Why did you wait for 4 years?
To change.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, when we just started, Airflow and dbt was not even offered as a solution for us. So let's start it from there. And yeah, by that time, we actually had several partners, like I said, during the market research, and all of them were offering Pentaho at that time. So at that time, it seemed more like if not the industry standard worldwide, when at least the industry standard in Estonia. Let's say it like this. And so, yeah, by now it was already quite clear that, let's say, just by following general trends in the world, that Airflow and dbt are becoming the whales and the preferred choice for those solutions. So it was just, for me, wiser to move, because we also considered one thing is when you have externals, and we are lucky to have a developer who works a lot, so to just be able to scroll through the old code. But yeah, as we are thinking overall of expanding data analytics in general, taking people inside, we actually done it. And yeah, having tools which are known by people on the market is just better for us.
Then what is the scale of data warehouse in Eesti Loto? Number of facts, dimension, size of data warehouse?
It's small. I think, I really think it's small. I think it's like 40 maybe dimensions and 20 facts, somewhere like that. We will definitely grow. We have a space. We just don't have enough budget.
And why were alternatives for DBT not considered, e.g. SQL Mesh?
We have had so much good experience with DBT, and we have good know-how in that, so that was the main reason.
And one more, what monitoring tools did you choose?
Well, now they're only sort of monitoring, so DBT runs those tests, writes into the database. And what we have now, we have Tableau reports, which reads from those tables with tests, create reports, and we have alerts set on those reports, which are sent automatically to Slack. So if there is an issue in the morning, we know it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I have some gift packages for you as well. Okay, thank you.